Good day, students. I am Dr. Rachna Mathur. I am teaching MA Final Andrea del Sarto by Browning. I have already introduced you to the poet Browning, and I have already explained you about the main character Andrea del Sarto, and I have already told you that he was a perfect painter. Now we will take the poem. Andrea del Sarto poem opens with Andrea pleading his wife Lucrezia for a little consideration towards him. So the poem begins like that. But do not let us quarrel any more. No, my Lucrezia, here with me for once. Sit down, and all shall happen as you wish. You turn your face, but does it bring your heart? I will work then for you, friend's friend, never fear. Treat his own subject after his own way. Fix his own time. Accept to his own price. And shut the money into this small hand. When next it takes mine, will it tenderly? Oh, I will content him. But tomorrow, love. I often am much wearier than you think. This evening, more than usual, and it seems as if forgive now about you let me sit. So Andrea, he's pleading before Lucrezia for a little consideration towards him. If she shows a little interest in him, he will satisfy all the requirements of a lover's friend who has commissioned him to paint a picture. He will even hand over to her the money that he gets from his client for the picture. He is too tired to paint now and promises to do the job on the following day. Now he would like to sit with her hand in his and look for half an hour or so at Fizzol with a feeling of accord with her. If she gives her company now, he will get up the next morning cheerful and fresh. The phrase Andrea del Sarto means Andrea the tailor. Andrea is called the tailor because he was the son of a tailor. He is further called the faultless painter because, as Andrea himself tells us, he was a perfect craftsman. So he was a perfect craftsman, but he was not inspired because his wife was not cooperating with him. The scene of this dramatic monologue is the city of Florence, where the artist Andrea del Sarto lived with his wife Lucrezia in the house he had built with the money which he had obtained from King Francis of France by fraudulent means. So he betrayed the king, and that was also torturous for Andrea. Fiesole is the name of a small town on the mountain. It is about 3 miles to the west of Florence. Morello is the name of a mountain of the Apennines. The Urbinate is another name for Raphael, who was born at Urbino. Agnolo or Michael Agnolo is the same person as Michael Angelo. Fontainebleau is a town of France. Andrea would like to sit by window holding Lucrezia's hand in his. He would like to spend half an hour or so looking out on the town of Fiesole in the company of his wife Lucrezia. He wants to sit in her company in a mood of harmony. This is important. Andrea wants harmony. As a husband would normally sit with his wife as he is feeling tired, he wants to relax himself. Andrea was a great painter, a faultless painter. Faultless but soulless. This is very important. That though he was faultless, but he was soulless. He was compromising at any cost. So this faultlessness and soullessness is the verdict of art critics on Andrea's works. Browning's poem tells us that the reason for this lay in the fact that Andrea was an immoral man, an infatuated man, passionately demanding love from a woman who had neither heart nor intellect. So Lucrezia, she had neither heart nor intellect, a wife for whom he sacrificed his soul and the highest interests of his art. In this stanza, Andrea yields to his wife. He desires the company of his wife with whom he is infatuated. If she just gives him her company for half an hour, he will feel relaxed and would get up next morning feeling cheerful and fresh. The pleading tone, remember students, the pleading tone in which he speaks to her is to be noted. This shows his soullessness. Andrea has totally yielded to his wife without keeping his self-respect, as he tells his wife in line 3, quote unquote, bear with me once. So this is again very important. Harmony between the model and painter is must for perfect art. So he pleads before Lucrezia, and admires her in line 26. This line refers to the fascinating curves of Lucrezia's beautiful figure. The word serpentining beauty, apart from suggesting her bodily curves, also brings to the reader's mind the evil suggestions connected with the role the serpent played in the Garden of Eden. Andrea compares Lucrezia to the moon, which attracts and enthralls everybody. But while everybody looks at her and wishes to possess her, she belongs to no one. In the next few lines, 35 to 40, the words grayness and twilight. Remember, grayness and twilight are expressions Andrea appropriately employs in order to describe the character not only of his work but of his whole life. Both his life and work are a failure. So remember, students, both his life and work are a failure. Fiesole looks pleasant in the distance, but there is nothing brilliant or glittering about it. It looks pleasant and sober. The same is the case with Andrea. His youthful aspirations, his hopes, his art have been without any divine touches. The very pride which Lucrezia used to feel in him in the beginning of their life together is now gone. There is nothing, remember, there is nothing which he can call elevated in his life, and there is nothing elevated or heavenly about his art. He feels that his life and work are devoid of that glory and splendor without which no artist can be called great. Browning preached God and immortality as the central truths of his philosophy of life. Browning was very optimistic, which is expressed in two famous lines in Pippa's song. Quote, God in his heaven, all's right with the world. Unquote. So, in the next few lines, Andrea takes refuge in a weak fatalistic philosophy. He says that all human beings are in the hands of God. Students, I have already shared this material with you on WhatsApp, and I have already provided the material on PDF. Please make short questions, and I have already given you an assignment. Try to understand it and try to write few lines about the short notes I have given to you. Thank you.